Do you find that you mentioned no project ever kind of turns out the way that you imagined that it was, or that you originally thought? Do you think that helps, like that experience of like seeing projects in your mind and then seeing them differently, but then also having people like love them?
Yeah.
Like, does that
Even I love them too.
Yeah,
Like, I
right.
do, yeah.
And does that help when you look at that and you go, okay, nothing ever turns out the perfect way that I imagined it would, but it all turns out
Fully, like that's, and I when I started teaching these paint nights, these virtual paint nights, it's funny teaching adults to paint, like to kids, because kids free as a bird. It doesn't matter, they do whatever they want. Adults, they already think they're gonna mess it up, they already think they're bad at painting, so every brushstroke is stressful, everything is just like miserable, right? So and I coined, it's not my term, it's Bob Ross's term, but trust the process is a huge, I yell it in their faces the whole time. I'm like, just trust it. Like right now it looks like garbage, it's fine, but trust that anything that you do we can fix, and that it will become something in the end. Like just trust it. So like I even have like a neon signs like trust the process and all the paintings and stuff, because it's important. And like me too, most paintings I don't like halfway through, and Dan, like my boyfriend, always laughs. He's like, well, you're on the right track, because most of them I like hate them in the middle, but again, it's like they can come back around because nothing's permanent. And what's wrong, it's only in my head. It's like there's no right or wrong, like we've talked about that. Art, there's no right or wrong. It's not like a math equation. It's just your own decisions of which direction you want to bring it, right?
I was talking to a buddy of mine that was in town, and he was telling me that he started painting, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. And he was showing me some of the stuff he was doing, and I was like, wow, that's really good. He's like, the most powerful thing, he's like, when I started, the first thing I ever did, all I did was I just painted like the back of the canvas, like just
a color
painted
thing.
a background, like it was like blue. And he said I got emotional, like he's like, I started crying, and he's like, for the first time in my life, like I felt like this didn't have to be right or wrong. It could be anything, and it didn't matter if it was the right answer or not the right answer. And he said that's just like such a powerful thing. I was like, that's I think that's the power of art. Even in martial arts, you're judged on whether you did it right or you did it wrong. Right. And I think that's something that's very unique to drawing and painting, is that it can't be right or wrong. It's just, it's yours, which is a good metaphor for people in life too. Like we think like we have to get to this place in life, and this is the right place
at this time, and at this.
We have to have it figured out and stuff. And no, you just have to be you and just paint your own canvas, right?
Yeah. And speaking of metaphors, like I just heard you, that was a whole metaphor for life. I don't know if you caught that, but talking about like, you know, things, they might not end up exactly how you think, but if you keep trusting the process, at the end you will be given more so what you need instead of what you thought you needed. It's really maybe what you needed, and maybe there was a struggle within that process that you learned from and that you needed.